Hello, my name is Kate, and this is Castle Tutelage, your home defense network. I haven't talked a lot about home defense. Well, I haven't talked a lot on YouTube for the past 8 months, so if you want to know why, you can see a previous video and go from there. I haven't talked much about home defense. A lot of people are getting more interested in CCW carry, concealed weapons permit, that kind of thing, and what to do. We're going to do a little bit on home defense. It's getting a little bit more popular again. And the first of all, we need to describe the anatomy of a home invasion robbery. You're going to have your inside and you're going to have your outside scenarios. There are going to be four general home invasion scenarios. The first one is that mythical late night thing that you're hearing something at night, that bump at night, and you're going from there. It doesn't happen that often. The second one is that they're currently trying to break through a door or window. The third one is that they ring the doorbell. You or a family member come in and open up the door willy-nilly, and they bum rush you with quick and overwhelming force, and it's almost always going to be between 2 and 5 people. The fourth one is going to be some kind of an outside scenario where you're doing yard work. They come up to you and they assault you there, and they bring you into the house, or they saw you at an ATM machine and they followed you home, or Christmas presents in the car. Or they know you that you have a lot of money, that kind of thing. They'll meet you at the garage, they'll ambush you at the garage, that kind of thing. And the last little caveat is that they're already inside the home and you walk in on them, okay? So those are going to be the four general home invasion scenarios. Now, some people have been asking me about what is the most important tool? Should I have a handgun? Should I have a shotgun? And some kind of a 223 round? Yes, you should. But it's funny that people have always asked me what kind of tools it is, because people like talking about these guns, the rifles, that kind of thing, and it's not the most important thing about home defense. Again, if you listen to my channel, it's going to be more of the mindset. You need to get into the mindset of what is going on. Yes, you need to be unconsciously competent at whatever tool that you should use. But I have laid out some things. Let's just set this aside, because everyone wants to talk about handguns, rifles, that kind of scenario. Yes, when you first start out, you need to get competent at these things. But then what you need to do, this is what I do with my channel, is the greatest obstacle to discovery isn't ignorance, but the illusion of knowledge. What does that mean? Basically means that what you think you know will prevent you from learning what you should know, okay? It is much easier to teach a clean slate than to try to teach a 70-year-old person asking why they shouldn't do anything, what they've been doing for the past 50 years. Well, because it's obsolete now. You don't need to, send a telegram to the sheriff in the next town for them to come help you. You get on the cell phone, okay? So that's the kind of thing that I'm really talking about. Now, there are going to be several rings of security around your home. The first ring of security is your visibility of what the bad guy, when they look at your house, are there little thorns on the rose bush? Not literally having rose bushes out there, but is your house kind of prickly? Are they going to be moving to an easier target? And again, criminals are electricity. They take the least resistant path to get to what they need to do. Okay, what is that? Well, at nighttime, having lights on your home. There are going to be two different types of bad guys, robbers, burglars, home invasion robberies, that kind of thing. And there's going to be your daytime guys and your nighttime guys. Your daytime guys are going to be the professionals who are knocking on your door anywhere. It's usually between 9 a.m. and 2, where they'll knock on the door to see your home. And the only time that you will see these guys is when you leave from work and you left your lunch at home, so you had to turn around and go back. Those are basically, if you are a 9 to 5 type of guy or gal, that's going to be that will happen to you. Okay. There is a burglary in the United States every 15 seconds. And if you extend the statistics over a 10-year period, you have a 20% chance of having some kind of theft, burglary out of your home. A 20% chance over a 10-year period if you extend it that long, okay? And what I'm doing is you're adding up the statistics with that. So, and then you have the nighttime guys. The nighttime guys are going to be the aggressive, kick in the door, 2 to 5 people storming your home with quick and overwhelming force. They're either on drugs or want to be on drugs, and those are very dangerous people. They will be in and out of your house in 2 minutes and you're dead. Okay, like that one home invasion robbery where he had a camera, and we'll talk about it. He had his camera hidden. You make your outside cameras very visible, but he had his camera hidden under the porch, and there were 5 guys that kicked into his house and killed him. They were in and out of the house in 67 seconds. Okay, that really tells you what you really need to do. Okay, now, so we're outside of the house, taking bushes away from the trees, having lights, making it look like there are other targets of opportunity for these bad guys. So that visible ring, also what we alluded it to a little bit more, that visible ring around the home that they don't want you to have. Like having this sign, okay? Having this type of sign in the front yard, the backyard, having these stickers on your windows, your doors, they're going to see it, okay? I do have a brand name alarm system, okay? That's going to be a different ring of security around your house, but I wanted to give you this fact that if your house is a little bit more, let's say that your house is worth about $750,000 or more, a million, that kind of thing. My house is a modest house. The burglar of this type is not going to want to do this, but I just do it anyway. It's just a habit of mine. If you have a brand name, I don't have this name. Everyone knows ADT. I don't have them. I think they suck. But people will put an ADT sticker out there. If your home is worth any grain of salt and they see that you have an ADT sticker or sign up there, you're telling them how to disassemble or get around your alarm system. Don't do it. So if you have ADT, there's some other Sentry kind of things, Honeywell, don't tell them what you have inside. That's irresponsible and stupid. Get a generic one like this. I got this one on Amazon, and use these stickers and this thing for that type of deterrent. The next thing is that I also have a sign that says that I have a dog. I don't have a dog. I have one in the backyard, I have one in the front yard, and I also tell them that my dog is chained in by an invisible fence line. That's what the sign actually says. I think it's a wonderful little tool that the police can lie to you while they're interviewing you. Well, why not lie to the burglar? You can do the exact same thing. The next thing that you can do is having a camera system. Now, the camera systems are getting extraordinarily cheap these days, and you make them visible to the people around you. You make them visible. You don't want to hide it. Now, you may want to, like the nanny cam, you have all these hidden nanny cams. Well, and then they're shaking your baby. Well, why don't you tell the nanny that, hey, there's a camera here and there's a camera here, so don't shake the baby? What's more of a higher precedent? Having a camera there where they're less likely to shake the baby, or having a hidden camera somewhere where it is where they have no fear of recrimination about shaking the baby. Okay, make the cameras visible. Okay, that is going to be a deterrent. Which is going to force them to a different home. Okay, now that's one security ring. The next security ring is going to be the perimeter of your home. Okay, now a lot of people are not going to be taking a look of what the perimeter of the home is. Proper locks, larger screws going into the door jamb. Some people forget about the hinge side. You want to have a 3-inch screw on the hinges also, where instead of it's going to be a 1 kick in entry, maybe they're going to have to do 4 or 5 times before they make that entry, and it's going to slow the bad guys down. Okay. Substantial locks, lighting around the windows also. French doors absolutely suck for home defense. Again, My style of home is not going to have a French door, but those high-end homes that are $150,000 and more are going to maybe have a. My mom has a French door, and it pisses me off every time I go over to her house and I tell her that she needs to get rid of the damn thing. And those are the kind of situations that you're going to have to do. Sliding glass door, make sure that they're barred. Windows, don't leave ladders on the outside where they can get to a different, higher level window. It's amazing to me that, a lot of people have ladders and they don't put them in the garage, or they put them into an outside shed that's not locked, and the bad guy will just take the ladder and go up to your kid's room and go from there. The interior, well, part of the exterior is also going to be the alarm system, where you're going to have alarms on your doors, your windows, your garage door, and I also put an alarm in my utility box. So if they go into the utility box and they try to rip out the telephone wire or turn off all the lights, it's going to hit my alarm system before the power goes off. And people will say, well, if your power goes off, how does your alarm system work? Well, it's backed up by battery power, people. Okay, let's kind of think a little bit beyond just the surface area. Okay, now when you get into the interior, okay, you're going to have another security, an invisible security in the interior. You're going to have panic alarms in your home where you can press it and an alarm will go off. And the majority of the time, unless if they're just drug crazed or crazy people, they're going to start running out of the home. Okay, if you have monitoring, some monitoring companies can now actually have a voice message over a speaker, or they can call in to say, "Hey, what's going on?" And they're that kind of a scenario, and that's going to help you out a lot. Okay, now, and then what is going to be your last bit of defense? Well, obviously this is my concealed carry weapon, but your last ring of defense is going to be your tools, your handguns, your shotguns, and then we're going to be defending a choke point, a hallway, a door frame, that kind of thing. Now, people are going to be asking me, well, let me back up a little bit. Your whole plan is going to be a little bit more different. If you're going to have children, what part of the house are they? Is it daytime, nighttime? Are they sleeping? Are they in the rec room? That kind of thing. There's so many different variables on it that you need training on it more than anything else in the world. During the 4 scenarios that we gave you, what is going to be most appropriate, a handgun or a rifle? Well, it really depends on your training. If you're consciously incompetent with a rifle, but consciously competent with a handgun, well, sometimes a handgun is going to be more appropriate for the type of tool that you're going to use to be defending your life than anything else, even though that a rifle will stop the threat, where the handgun will maybe slow down the threat, and then they will leave, and then several minutes later they're incapacitated at that time. Hydrostatic shock is going to be a big ordeal for being hit with a long gun like a shotgun or a 223, 5.56 kind of a scenario than anything else. But those are going to be the training that you really need to take a look at. Well, let me finish the thought. The first scenario is going to be that late night bump at night. To me, you're going to be barricading yourself. If you're alone, you're going to be barricading yourself, defending a choke point like a hallway, door frame, a staircase, that kind of thing, with a rifle. Okay, having the ability to turn on at least one light in every room. It's a cheap X10 system. We talked a little bit about cameras. Cameras are getting much cheaper. You can have a 4-camera system for about a price of a CZ, $600. You can have lighting going on in your home, at least one light in every room for like $600 for a small house. So you don't need to be spending a lot of money on these. What I actually recommend these doing is turning a light on the home. You can run around with a flashlight. Not this one is kind of big. I kind of use it, and it has 2,000 lumens. I do not recommend you tromping around the home like Elmer Fudd looking for the rabbit. There's several different layers of bad ideas. How much that is that in some states you could be actually charged with some kind of a crime, because the prosecutor is saying you're looking for the fight. Now, even in stand your ground states, if there is a stand your ground law, but you still can be sued. That lawyer for the person that you killed who's in your home, or that family, is going to sue you. Okay, especially if you have some kind of money for that to happen. All right. Now where was I? Tangent, squirrel, blah blah blah. Um, the so and if you have any children in that bump at night, what I recommend you probably doing is getting your gun, getting the children, your handgun rather, getting the children, your elderly parent, and then taking them back to the safe room, and then switching back to the rifle if all possible, while your spouse or loved one, gay lover, is on the phone with the police, that kind of scenario. The second one is that they're currently trying to break through a door or a window. What are you going to do? Well, you're going to be barricading, and you're going to be defending that window, that door. Check for training. Shooting through a window when the person isn't in their home, or through the door, an exterior door, or even an interior door in some states. Don't do it. I think it's highly irresponsible and stupid, and you're putting your family's future of you being in jail in jeopardy when you're doing that. The third one is that the knock-knock bull rush kind of scenario. While the most appropriate thing is probably going to be a handgun if you open the door, and being in a safe room, that kind of thing, with defending a choke point. Fourth one is you're going to be outside. More likely you should be having a handgun at that point anyway. Okay, so let's get this out of the way. Let's get all these little tools out of the way. Let's get the sign out of the way. Let's get this fake training bullet out of the way. Home defense. There are more tools that you can use in magazines like these than on YouTube or anything else that you go. Read the articles. It's the mindset kind of thing. It's the training. It's the aftermath. It's training of your family. Think of the scenarios that you're already in the home. You do not want to be like I watched one video with James Yeager today about the home defense, and the moderator of the hour-long podcast is saying that, when you're going through your home, you're thinking about, the direction of fire. Well, at that point, if your mind is already chattering in your head, direction of fire, that kind of thing, it's way too late for that scenario to happen. Again, you've already thought of the scenarios, okay? You need to really learn about direction of fire. Some people are going to be talking about, well, over-penetration is a problem. Yeah, over-penetration is a problem in some aspects, especially if you're tromping around the home like Elmer Fudd looking for that rabbit. That's going to be a problem. And what people don't realize about over-penetration, that a 9mm bullet is going to be penetrating more, coming out of your handgun at 920 feet per second and 147 grain 9mm bullet. That's going to have a greater penetration into wallboard, that kind of thing, than a .223 round coming out at supersonic speeds, and it breaking and tumbling, which is more of a responsible kind of scenario. But when we're dealing with overpenetration, overpenetration is not the aspect that you should be looking at as far as training goes. When you're dealing with a choke point, when you're dealing with a door frame, a hallway, a staircase, what you're doing is you're looking at a direction of travel of where your gun is, your shot is going down. Massad Ayoob, who is somebody that, if you ever see an article in Massad Ayoob in any one of these magazines, read it. You're going to be learning a lot more practical advice and than anything else that could be achieved. What he recommends is that if you are defending a hallway, have a bookcase. He's a little bit older, wise older. He's in where bookcases were prevalent, but in today's society, bookcases aren't prevalent. And the beautiful thing about it is, I was talking to one guy. He goes, "Well, yeah, I just put an old refrigerator at the other end of the." It was a long hallway that went into his garage, and then at the other side of the garage, he put in a old refrigerator to stop the bullet. But the direction of travel, where that bullet is going. So that it's not going to be going into your baby's crib, that kind of thing. So direction of travel, knowing where you're going is going to be so much better. Train, 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 is so much more important. Spend money on training than with the handgun than purchasing. Some people just want to have another widget they need to that they want to purchase. I strongly recommend that you're not doing that. This is a 20-minute video, and I was talking fairly fast, so hopefully this is going to translate into something that a lot of people can use. Again, the greatest obstacle to discovery isn't ignorance, but the illusion of knowledge. My name is Kane. This is Castle Tutelage, your home defense network. I hope this helped.